Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to my channel. I have a tag video today. I was tagged a while ago by MilliesVlog to do this tag video, and the title of it is called, I want to make sure I know, What Kind of Girl Are You? Tag. It has some pretty interesting questions, and I apologize that it took me a couple weeks to get to it, but better late than never, right? So I will put a link to Millie's channel in the description bar below so that you can go check her out. I believe she is a fellow Avon rep. So that's kind of exciting. All right, number one question is, you're doing your makeup. Do you conceal before or after your foundation? You know, it just depends. It depends on what kind of foundation I'm putting on. Usually if it's a liquid or a cream foundation, then I conceal afterwards. But when I'm using a powder foundation, I conceal first because I don't like to put a cream product on top of a powder because it gets gunky. So normally I would say, you know, usually I use cream or liquid foundation, so I conceal afterwards as a general rule. However, when I'm using like Bare Minerals or my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten, I will put my concealer on first, unless it's a powder concealer also, like with the Bare Mineral Bisque, then I would put that on after. So I guess it just depends, right? Number two, you're in a store and you knock something over. Do you pick it up or do you turn around and pretend it didn't happen? And this is really funny that this question was on here because I remember when I first watched this video, the day I watched it or the day after, I was in CVS and they were putting a new display up of like some kind of seasonal makeup. I don't remember which brand it was, but they hadn't put it up yet. And it was like in these boxes on the floor by the shelving, and they had like the makeup was in boxes and the display itself was like balanced on top of the boxes, but it was like all wonky. And you know, I'm nosy and I kind of wanted to peek in there and see what the makeup was. So like all these plastic displays like shifted and I'm like, oh crap, and I didn't know what to do, and I was thinking, this is so embarrassing, but I managed to get them back, you know, like on top of the boxes the way they were balanced. But normally I would pick it up. Occasionally it might be something that I can't get to, or it rolls away and I can't get to, but normally I would pick it up because I think that's the right thing to do. People in retail work hard enough without having to clean up after us, you know, like we're at home or something. Okay, number three, you're in the mall parking lot and notice someone left their headlights on. Do you see if their doors are open and turn the headlights off, or do you ignore it? Okay, normally my first instinct would be turn the lights off. However, now all the cars have, oh, and someone texts me with an Avon order, so we'll ignore that for right now. But like I said, normally my instinct would be to open it up, but and shut the lights off. But nowadays, so many cars have the headlights that turn off automatically when, you know, so many minutes after the vehicle is turned off. And on occasions, I have said to someone, oh, you left your lights on. And then they're like, yeah, they shut off on their own, and then I feel stupid. So it depends. I kind of just like look at the situation, and then if I was at the mall or someplace, I might tell someone in a store or a security guard. If you're at a specific store, like by itself, like Target or someplace like that, you know, they can announce it. But if you're over the like loudspeakers or whatever, but if you're at the mall, you don't know who that car belonged to, so it's kind of just like you know, you just don't know. Okay, number four, after seeing a nice shirt in the store, what is the first thing you look at? Is it the size or the price? For me, I would probably look at the price first, because even if the shirt isn't in my size, I'm not going to search it out if it's more money than I'm willing to spend on that particular item. So I would say price first, definitely. Okay. When you buy something that's on sale, are you buying it because you really like it or because it's on sale and like the right price? That's a good question, because I have a tendency to be the type of person that when I see something's a really good deal, I kind of want to jump on it, you know, like right away. And even if I don't really need it, or sometimes in some cases I don't really want it. Like, okay, when I first started dating my husband, there's a thrift store in the area that he lived in, where I live now. And I was like blown away by this thrift store, how good the prices were and the merchandise that they had. And I was like, I was just super, super impressed with it. So I wanted to go shopping there all the time. I would hit it a couple of times. If I was here on the weekends visiting, I would go every weekend. And then when I started living out here, I would go sometimes twice a week or whatever to check it out. I bought so much stuff because it was so cheap. And then I had all this stuff that piled up, like clothing. Most of it was clothing, and I never wore it. And so I ended up reselling it, or giving it away or whatever. So I have a tendency to buy something just because it's a good price instead of really needing it. But I do think I'm getting better about it. I've kind of picked up on that, and I know that I do that. So, I try not to do that as much anymore. Okay, number 6, when you're watching a makeup tutorial you really like, do you see if you have similar colors in your collection, or do you insist on buying like the same items that were used in the tutorial? For the most part, I only watched, well, okay, I shouldn't say only. I watch tutorials of things I already have. So like I'm looking for different ways to use a certain palette. I've used it a few times and I want to know how other people use a certain color, or get some more use out of it, that kind of thing. I don't usually just watch random tutorials. I don't search out tutorials or anything unless it's specifically I'm looking for an item. However, if a person that I'm subscribed to is doing tutorials and they are using makeup items that I don't have, I'll still watch them and enjoy them. And sometimes I end up wanting to purchase that exact item. A perfect example of that is, like with all the Pan That palette and stuff that was going on with like the chocolate bar palette, when Angela panned the chocolate bar palette. Prior to that, I didn't really have any interest in having the chocolate bar palette. I didn't think it was something that I wanted, and I saw the tutorials and I saw how pretty they were and everything like that. So I did end up asking for that palette. But like I said, usually when I look for a tutorial, it's because I already have that item and I want to know how to use it better or use it in a different way. So number 7, you're applying mascara. Do you maintain a normal face or make the I just saw a ghost face, which I'm assuming is that kind of face? I automatically make the face. It's just something that happens. You get that, like, your eyes, you do a big eye and your mouth opens up. I don't know why we do that. I think that's really strange. Is there a scientific explanation why we do that? I don't know, but yeah, I make the face. Okay, number 8, when a beeper goes off in the store, like a security beeper, do you think that somebody forgot to remove a security tag, or do you think that someone slipped something into your bag, like automatically assume that someone did that? I just figure that they either forgot to remove a tag or that the system is jacked up, because I think that those security systems at stores are always jacked up, because that happens to me. It has happened to me on more than one occasion, and usually I don't even have something in my bag that would have a tag on it. It's like at the grocery store or something, or they've forgotten to do the tag. So I never think that someone planted something on me. Okay, number 9, if you don't like something a friend is wearing, do you lie to them to spare their feelings, or do you tell them the truth? Pretty much I don't say anything about it, because it's not my place to say something mean or to go out of my way to say something that's going to hurt someone's feelings. If I don't like it on them, that's my issue. It's not a big deal. If they ask me, do you think this color goes with my eyes? Or do you think this looks blah, blah, blah? I try to find the most diplomatic way I can to say that it might not be my favorite thing. Like I might say, oh, well, the color is a little unusual, but the fit is great. That kind of thing. I don't just say, oh, that looks like crap, because I wouldn't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't like to hurt people's feelings or say anything mean to them if I don't have to. Number 10, do you faithfully remove your makeup every single night, or do you have lazy nights where you ignore it? I have some lazy nights, I'm not gonna lie, but generally, especially since January, I have really been trying to, well, even before January, I would say since October, because I bought my Clarisonic in October, and that's, you know, Clarisonic isn't cheap. It's not inexpensive, and I want to make sure I use it, that I get, you know, I spent money on it. I want to make sure that I use it, and I know it's good for my skin. And so I've been really good about cleaning my face and applying my skincare and doing my routine every night. There's been a couple nights here and there where I haven't felt good, or when it's been so cold, like here in Michigan at nighttime, the lows have been down to, you know, -10, -20, with the wind chill -30. And even though we have a nice warm home, it's just cold. You know, you gotta go to the sink and turn on the faucet and wait for the hot water to warm up, and you know, your hands are in the water and your face is getting wet, and it's cold, and I just didn't want to. So there have been some nights that I don't, but as a general rule, I would say, you know, out of 10 days, at least 9, I probably wash my face. Okay, number 11. If your best friend told you a secret you knew could get them in big trouble, but it is something that is illegal, do you tell on them or not? To be honest with you, I can't imagine any of my best friends telling me that they did something illegal. You know, you'd have to know them, but they're all pretty responsible people, and I can't imagine them, you know, I don't run with like a crazy crowd or anything like that. So I would say I don't really think that would happen. However, if like somebody came to me, like say my friend came to me and she said, well, I was out driving last night in the middle of the night and I ran over somebody and nobody saw it. I just kept going. Of course I would be like, you have to tell the police, you have to turn yourself in or whatever. I would encourage them to do that as much as they could. But yeah, I think even most of the people I'm friends with, even if they accidentally did something illegal, they would probably own up to it. So, okay, number 12. If you find something valuable, like jewelry or a sum of money, a cell phone or a wallet on the ground, do you try to find the owner? Do you leave it there, or do you take it? It just depends on the situation. I would try to turn it in. If it's a place where I can turn it in, I would definitely do that. I just don't take stuff that doesn't belong to me. So I would definitely try to turn it in. I definitely wouldn't really feel comfortable with leaving it there for anybody else to take. However, it just depends on the situation. I don't know. If sometimes, like, if you find money on the ground, it's really crazy because you are so tempted to keep it. But then I think to myself, that's not mine and I shouldn't do that. And the person that dropped it is probably going to miss this, you know, quite a bit. So I try to turn it in, you know, when I can. And a lot of times people say, well, if you turn it into the person that's working in the store, they're just going to keep it anyways. That may be true, but the way I feel about it is if they keep it, that's their problem. Then they have to answer, you know, to the higher power or whatever, because you can't do that, you know, and not have like that. I've done what I could do and I left it in someone else's hands, and it's up to them to do the right thing too. So that's what I would say. I'm not responsible for what someone else does after I turn in the wallet, after I turn in the cell phone or whatever. You know, my conscience is clear. I've done what I could do. So, okay. Number 13, be honest. How many times have you watched the movie Mean Girls? I don't know if I've even watched it ever. I think I watched it once or part of it once. I don't know. But so yeah, I don't know for sure. And then, number 14, which Mean Girl character are you? Because I don't know for sure if I've seen it. I couldn't say for sure. But if it's the movie I'm thinking of, where the girl has the two friends that are kind of nerdy, like the guy and the girlfriend, they're kind of nerdy, and then she tries to fit in with they try to make her fit in with the popular chicks, the mean girls, so she can like undermine them or whatever. I would say I probably definitely would identify more with like the nerdy characters. The boy and the girl nerd characters would definitely be more me. And then number 15, if your friend asked you out, would you say yes? Well, my friends all know I'm married, so I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would really happen. But actually, before I met my husband, we had a friendship that was just a friendship for quite a while, a couple years. And so when he asked me out, I was like, heck yeah, I want to, that would be great. So it just, like most of my friends know I'm already married, so I don't think that would happen. However, like I said, when I met my husband and we were friends, I was very happy to be taking it to that next level with him. So that's it. There was 15 questions, and I will leave the tag open. So if you feel like doing a tag and you want to do this, there's some interesting questions. Definitely a way to get to know the person you're subscribing to better. I'll put the questions in the description bar below, and feel free to just do this tag if you feel like it. And thank you so much for tagging me, and I will put Millie's channel in the description bar below. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.